What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am doing the long-awaited top 5 concealers of 2023. Oh, sorry, 2022. I am going to be mentioning my top 5 like I said before, and I'm going to go backwards. So I'm going to leave my number 1 concealer last for you guys, and I have 2 honorable mentions as well. At number 5, I do have my Dior Backstage Flash Perfector Concealer in the shade 2W. This concealer is so beautiful. The texture on it is super light. The brush applicator on this is super beautiful as well. And it is pretty much full coverage and it blends out beautifully. The only thing with this concealer is that I do end up getting pretty oily towards like the end of the day. So if you guys don't like that, then you might want to stay away from this concealer. Actually, this concealer is medium coverage, sorry. It's medium coverage. It's super beautiful on or by itself. I've tried this by itself and it's super pretty. And I do use this too sometimes to spot conceal if I have some blemishes. But this concealer is beautiful. It's not like the Dior Backstage one. I can't remember. Is it Forever Skin Concealer? That one's absolutely gorgeous. And I can't stop talking about that one. I think I stopped using it because my skin honestly just got more oily as time went on. And so I kind of just stopped using this for that same reason, but super beautiful. If you have dry skin, I definitely recommend you trying this out. And I will insert swatches and product shots of this so you guys can take a better look at it. Now at number 4, I have the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Concealer. Now, this concealer is pretty thick. I do have to say it's really thick. If you don't like thick concealers, then stay away from this. It is super gorgeous. This concealer isn't for the faint of heart. You do have to be really careful with it and it blends out really beautifully as well. But I do have to say that if you do suffer from a lot of creasiness under your eyes, maybe stay away from this concealer because this does tend to build up in your creases, which I don't really mind because you can't really avoid creases at the end of the day. And one of the tricks that I do to avoid creasing or showing creasing under my eyes is I do bring my lower shadow down a little bit lower just to conceal that area or like conceal the creasiness. So that helps a lot. And like the concealer says, it is radiant. So if you are oily, you definitely have to set this concealer pretty well. As you guys know, I do love double setting. So I set with a pressed powder, then I go in with a loose powder underneath my eyes and I bake for a little bit just to really set in this concealer. But if you guys don't want to do that and don't want to go through the hassle of doing all that, then stay away from this concealer if you are oily. Dry skin will also really love this concealer, and honestly it's super beautiful. I do have the shade medium 5 if I haven't mentioned it already. I just love Charlotte Tilbury products. They're just gorgeous. And at number 3 we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer in the shade 6. Now this concealer has a huge doe foot and honestly a little bit goes a long way with this concealer as well. This is also a thicker consistency as well. So again, if you guys don't like thick consistencies, then stay away or just put a little bit of this concealer on and a little bit will go a long way. But for me personally, I just love a thicker, more potent concealer just because of my under eyes. I do have dark under eye circles, so I like something to be able to cover that up and I not really fuss with anything else. And this concealer doesn't really crease as much as I would say the Charlotte Tilbury one. This one's pretty normal. And I do usually just set with a pressed powder with this. I don't have to go in with a baking powder. I only really do that when I have a long day ahead of me and I know I'm going to be sweating or doing something kind of crazy that I'll double set. If you guys haven't tried double setting, I definitely do recommend it. Now this is, I don't know if I mentioned it, but super full coverage, will cover everything. And honestly, it's so underrated. I feel like not a lot of people are talking about this anymore. Now at number 2, I have the Vieve Modern Radiance Concealer in a shade medium 1. Now this concealer is thick as well. Super full coverage, a little bit goes a long way. Doe foot of this reminds me of the Anastasia Beverly Hills. Pretty thick, very beautiful concealer. Now this concealer does dry pretty fast. We do have to work with it, like do one side first and then do the other side. Usually I'm pretty fast, so I got the hang of this concealer. But honestly, not a lot of people talk about this concealer, and I need more people to talk about it. I feel like this concealer is super gorgeous. I feel like Jamie Genevieve did such a good job in this formulation. I really do wish she comes out with a foundation soon. I feel like she would kill it in that area just because she knows her full coverage. And I don't know, she just knows her formulas. This, I can't stop wearing this concealer. I feel like it's so beautiful, very pigmented. Also another thick one, so if you guys don't like thick concealers, like I've said before, probably steer away or just use a little bit of this concealer at a time. And I will also list the prices of each concealer on the screen so you guys can check out the price, also the names of it and what shades I have, so you guys can check that out. This has to be my all-time favorite concealer now, and it's something I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about as well, and I need to know why. Why isn't anyone talking about this concealer? And I am talking about the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer. I do have the shade 17.5N, and it is the concealer I have on now. This concealer is absolutely beautiful, and for the price point, guys. The price point is chef's kiss. This is literally $15, and if you wait for the Sephora VIB sale, you can get Sephora collection stuff for 30% off. Who doesn't want to steal? This concealer reminds me of the Vieve, and I think that's why I like the Vieve concealer as well, is that it's kind of like that, but this one's more liquidy. It's not as thick and not as crazy as the Vieve or the Anastasia and Charlotte Tilbury. This one's literally right in the middle, a little bit more liquidy, definitely has full coverage, and this one does not disappoint at all. I can either set this with a pressed powder only or double set it with some loose powder, but this doesn't move at all. Makes your skin look basically beautiful. I do want to get like a darker shade, maybe use that as a contour slash bronzing cream, just because it is that blendable and that beautiful on the skin. I feel like this will be absolutely gorgeous on everyone's skin. And on here it does say it's full coverage, blendable liquid cream, weightless feel, which I definitely agree. It does have a weightless feel to it, and it does claim to have a 12-hour hydration, retouch, and conceal all over face, which I have worn this for a pretty long time. I never sleep with my makeup on, that's one. And I feel like this concealer with my Givenchy Prism Libre foundation, those two are a match made in heaven, especially for you oily girls. Literally don't want any sign of like oils breaking through your skin and just want the highlight that you have on glowing, then this is your product right here. The Sephora Collection Concealer. Absolutely beautiful. Now I have two honorable mentions. The reason why I'm going to put this in the concealer category, because I don't really use this as concealers. The first up is the Rare Beauty, and this is the light medium under eye brightener. And this you can put over any concealer and it'll definitely brighten up your under eye area. And not only that, the cool part is it has this cooling metal applicator on there, and it literally feels really nice on your eyes. It feels like you have a spa or you're doing a spa on your face. So I can literally pair this with any of these concealers and I'll brighten it up even more if I want that extra like awakeness. Next one I have is the NARS Medium 1 Custard Staff Matte Complete Concealer. Now, if you have acne spots or acne scars or acne anywhere on your face, this is your guy right here. This will conceal anything on your face. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm like literally running out of this concealer. I need to get more. This thing, a little bit goes a long way. You can just dip your brush in there and conceal whatever you want, and oh, it will sit on your face, completely conceal anything you want to conceal. It won't move, it won't budge. This is magic in a pot, especially if you have acne. I have tried this for concealer under my eyes. I wasn't a big fan of it until I tried it for my acne spots. If you guys are looking for something to cover up your acne, then definitely check this guy out. I feel like I kind of flew by all these products pretty fast. I'm sorry, but I am passionate about these products, and I don't know. I feel like if you don't have a good concealer, that can definitely make or break your foundation or your look that you're going for. These are like my ride or dies. These are the ones I switch through all the time, and I've never really finished one yet. Not yet, but just because I do rotate my concealers a lot, and I know all these concealers are a lot for just one person, but of course I do have a YouTube channel, so I do have to test out a lot of products and tell you guys what I love and don't love. And these products right here are definitely ones you should try out, and if you guys are curious, and if you guys do have this concealers at home or you guys have them in your collection, let me know what you guys think about them. Do they work for your skin or did they not? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I would highly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!